So I want to talk about a few things, but we're going to ask as we do this for people to participate. Ready? So the first thing I would like is everyone in the chat write out one thing in the from this past week that you're grateful for. What's one thing that you've been grateful for this week? Let's look at the chat. My health,
Can I come in?
my family. That's good.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Fifi. It's a pleasure for me. It's a great honor to be here. And I'm so glad that we are together. And I've heard so many experiences. It's make me feel, I want to say, it let me feel very great, give me a good feeling that there is a product who can help people not to die beyond beneath the time, you see, and
Yeah.
uh, and I'm grateful that you cannot only use the curcumin for insides, your organs, but also when you have a scar or you have some spots on your face that you can use this. And I'm so grateful that it is for out, in and out. That made me
Awesome.
feel very excited.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love all the comments. One thing Samara and I were grateful for this week is years ago when we had a business that failed and we were traveling with no money and we're just, man, life was a little tough. And we went to Wisconsin and we met these people in a church and the pastors and his wife, they're just very kind to us. Sometimes when you're down, you just need new family that takes good care of you. And they actually came to visit us this week. They came to a conference. They're kind of going through a bit of a transition, and we had an opportunity for them to stay at our house and take care of them and feed them. And they said, if we hadn't made our home available, they couldn't have come to this conference, which was very good for them. And so, there's seasons in life, and at one time we needed help, and now we're in a place where we can bless people and take care of them, and that feels good, right? So, I want to talk today a bit about, we're going to talk about aligning your mindset with divine flow, and so you can have more energy, clarity, and growth in your business. And we've talked a bunch before about flow, and we've used different language, and so we want to kind of review some of it, and um, we'll go back over the different ways of remembering this, right? So the flow just means this: when life feels easier and it's more abundant. Okay. Um, you see that for athletes doing incredible things, for musicians playing these complicated musical pieces, but they make it look easy. Sometimes we see people in business and it looks like it's easy for them and they make a lot of money. And we go, oh, well, it's easier for you because of da da da. And a lot of times it has to do with mindset, right? That allows things to be easier, allows you to see opportunity and grab a hold of it easier, right? So if we talk about the four steps of flow, it's selflessness, it's timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. And previously, what we did is I would find when I would say those four words and talk about it for 2 hours and ask people, hey, how did you like? They're like, that was a great seminar. Awesome. What are the four steps of flow? They're like, um, I don't remember. I'm like, we just talked about it for 2 hours. Four things, right? So what we do is I found that by using kind of motions with our hands and our body, that it's easier. So if everyone does this with me, you go tap your heart and say, so this is value. Where do you get your value from? And you just say, my value comes from God's unconditional love for me, right? And what does that mean? Because as you go through life, you operate in one of two ways. Either how I'm performing tells me what I'm worth, or what people think of me, or how institutions honor me, like did I become a diamond or not? That'll tell me what I'm worth, right? And those three things, they're never settled and they're always up and down. So most people don't know where their value comes from, right? So it's just by accident they come up with these rules. Okay. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, um, you have to move forward. You don't know if business will be good today. You don't know if the prospect you're talking to will be interested or not. You don't know if you'll hit that next rank. Okay. So that can be extremely stressful. And as a result, you're gonna have to overcome the desire to pull away and keep going, even though there's a lot of pain, and you have pain because of your rules in life, right? Or if you say, you know what, God loves me no matter what, it'll be the same this morning as it is tonight. Therefore, I can be wholehearted in life. What does that mean? I'm just going to go for it. And I will fail and it will still hurt, but the failure can't tell me what I'm worth anymore. Does that make sense? So, this is probably the most important question to be able to answer in life. Where do you get your value from? 90% of the people, 95 more really, don't have a good, clear, solid answer for where do you get your value, right? They have rules and values that make them vulnerable to anything that's going on. Does that make sense? So that's step number one. Any questions on that?
Let me put it this way. Does anybody wave at me if you feel like you've had an experience lately that threatened some that would have threatened your value or that made you feel like, he makes me feel worthless or something. This situation makes me feel so frustrated.
Business isn't going well. I feel like a loser.
Yeah.
I'm not taking care of my family as well as I
I
wanted
mean,
to.
if my house is really messy, I can have that.
Sure.
It can be so tempting to be like, oh, what in the world? You don't even have your act together, right?
It's like the way I describe it's like things trash talking you.
Yeah.
You know, you have sports teams and the other team is like going, "You're a loser. We're gonna beat you. We're gonna embarrass you," right? And it's like if you allow, it's like athletes know this. If they allow that to get in their head, they can't perform well anymore, right?
Yeah.
And it's a big deal, right? So think about what voices out there are trying to say things to you. Oh, look at that, you loser. You should have done this. How come you can't do that? Right? Well, oh, your kid needs that, but you don't have the money,
Mhm.
right? Oh, look at that. You said you were going to get in shape this year and you haven't made any progress. Right. Oh, oh, you're gonna make this next rank? Sure. Yeah, you've been saying that for a year. Have you made any progress? Nope, you're not even taking any action. See, it's like all that.
Are we gonna touch on disappointment here or in a little bit?
We could touch on it here. Yeah,
The other thing is sometimes it's like, oh, you want to get a good job, but my last job, they fired me. So I can't get over that. I'm still feeling that. I still don't understand what happened. I still worry that maybe it's because maybe I'm doing something I never
sure.
will get to that rank, or maybe why would they do that to me when I was putting everything in? And I feel like so when some of our biggest disappointments come when someone makes us feel like we don't have value.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Most of the people here, this is not the first time you've done network marketing. What happened to the first
Hold up
one?
your fingers. How many have you done?
How many different ones? It's like, oh, so they were all, I mean, we always get in a network marketing company with thinking this is going to be great and it's going to last, right? And yet here we are, right? So do those past did we properly overcome those past disappointments? Or are we here wanting it to be good again, but we're injured? Now we're trying to operate injured, right? It's like we're saying the right things, but we're not going for it anymore because there's that pain, there's the fear. Oh, if I really go for it again, and maybe it succeeds, but then it fails, I can't handle that anymore. So I'm going to play small,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
there's something wrong with that industry or those people or that job or that whole church thing
yeah,
or whatever it is
I'll
that
tell you one thing that I see often is sometimes people who have been tremendously successful before, right? Maybe they made like $50,000 a month or more in a network marketing company, and that opportunity is going down, and they want to do something else that really grabs their passion. But guess what they do now? They overanalyze everything, right? Like, oh, what about this? What about that? Because they're trying to protect themselves from the pain of failure.
yeah.
And then they'll never go for it again. They'll be like the expert on why it won't work. Right? I have someone like that in my life, and you know, they were very successful. Honestly, they actually introduced me to Vidify. Um, but then oh, I can't do Vidify because of this, and the amount of different opportunities that they brought to me over the last 4 years of they're checking out, they're getting super excited. It's like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's like they're experts at why this can't work. What are they doing? They're operating from trauma. See, they haven't overcome the disappointment that that thing where that was amazing isn't going as well as they wanted. And they can't handle that there might be that level of pain in the future. Yeah.
What about if you just kind of have this low level of not being able to get excited?
Mm, yeah, it's tough.
I think that what I'm saying is I think that's also a form of
Is that an indication that we haven't
is that an
overcome this?
indication? Yes, of past disappointment, past trauma.
Well, you connect the excitement with future pain,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Oh, I remember last time I got this excited. Mm-hmm. And then it sucked.
Mhm.
So you can connect being that excited to being more vulnerable to future pain.
Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully we've made it clear that no matter how much money someone has, how great of a family they come from or they create, no matter what like accolades they receive, there's nobody immune to disappointing experiences.
Yeah.
There's no matter how bulletproof they look on the outside, as a human, we are all going through disappointing experiences. So what we want to teach you is what do you do?
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, just ignore it or pretend it didn't happen. Like we're not about that, but what do you do when you have this happen to you? And then how do you deal with ones that you didn't deal with yet?
Well, I think the first thing is to have a general understanding of the cycles of life. For me, one of the most challenging lessons to learn was that there's always seasons in every area of life. I think what we think is like, oh, I'm going to create a good business and then I'm good. And you're like, well, for how long? I mean, I created a business and it's making this amount of money and therefore it should continue.
I've arrived.
For how long? Well, forever, right? It's like, no. Or like, oh, I got in shape and now I'm in shape and that's a permanent thing, right? Or we fixed my marriage and now we should never have another fight again. Or, it's like thing after thing after thing. And so if you consciously, subconsciously believe that when there's a dip in business or you gain a few pounds, oh, you freak out. Does that make sense? It's like, but if you're like, there's always seasons in every area of life, right? It's like, you would really, really, really hate winter if you didn't know that spring was coming. Can you imagine? Like, oh my God, the leaves are falling off the trees. I thought I had fixed it. I thought we had gotten into summer. we never have to deal with the fall and winter again. It's like, yeah, no, that's not how that happens, you know? It was interesting right before the Vidify came into my life. I had a business that I was making more money than ever in my entire life. And in 1 month, it dropped 90% like that. The second month, still down 90%. That was July, then August. By September, I'm like, I think I need something else. But I had gotten good at this skill set of overcoming disappointment. In September and part of October, I just worked on it. Does that make sense? I forgave people. The biggest, uh, this is the way I describe it. The biggest problem to a good mindset moving forward is this right here, this finger. Anyone have one of these fingers right here? What's the problem? What do I do with it? I'm like, oh, you and me and they, and that's the problem, and this is why, and I need to understand it, and I
Feels
need to,
kind of good.
yeah. I'm like, you people did this, and you should have done that, and this person screwed it up, and like, and man, you got to put that thing away, and you got to let it go. So, like before Vidiva came in my life, I spent like a month. I would have to forgive this company and these people. I think I'm good. And I'm like, oh no, I got to do it again because it come back up. I'm like, it's because I had to let go of all that before I was able to grab a hold of Vidify and see it. Right.
Did you, how did you forgive?
Just I got clarity on it, and it's
Did
not
you
a
say it out loud?
yeah, out loud, write it out, like whatever it took, over and over and over and over and over and over. Does that make sense? And what it did, it created a space in my life for something new,
Yeah.
right? I'll give you this example, in America, in the East Coast on the hills, there are hillbillies, they call it Appalachian. They're real country people. And I don't know if everyone knows what a raccoon is. You have raccoons in Europe, right? Um,
No.
I don't even know how to
These
describe a
are
raccoon.
creatures.
They're really smart and curious, and they get in your trash can and they like get into everything, right? Well, the way they trap raccoons is they'll take a log and they'll hollow the log out, but they'll leave a hole in the log, right? The hole is barely big enough for the raccoon to fit his hands in. They have very, yeah, man, they can open everything. And inside the log, they'll put something shiny, okay?
Mirror.
And a mirror, something, foil, something. So the raccoon sees it, and the raccoon's like, "Oh, look at that! I wonder what that is." And the raccoon will reach his hand in and grab a hold of it. But when the raccoon is holding on to the shiny thing, he can't get his hand out, and they won't let go. And then they become
Even if
soup
they die, yeah.
and a hat for some hillbilly. And so what you find is a lot of people, they hold on to this need for like you and you people, and they should have done this, and I could have been better, but if you and blah and me and this, and you don't let it go,
Revenge and unforgiveness are very tempting,
right?
but they don't yield the reward that
See, and the reason one when you experience disappointment, the reason you think this is helpful, you're like, okay, I think that if I understood it and assigned blame, if I understood it, then I would have peace and then I can move forward. And I need to figure out why this happened so this never happens again. Well, number one, you can't prevent it from happening again. It's just life. And number two, you think that by all this does is it will actually rewire your brain for depression and anxiety. Because you're going to train your brain, look for the problem, look for the problem, look for the problem. Like my friend who used to make $50,000 a month from a network marketing company and wants to do something else, but the only thing he's good at now is seeing the problem in everything. And he can't move forward and he can't commit to anything new.
yeah, so we're gonna actually give you some keys to help you overcome this if your mind has kind of gotten to that where it's sort of only tracking for the problems. And I just want to say lawyers or litigators have a
Engineers,
have a really
accountants,
have a higher rate of depression and divorce because their mind is so trained to find problems that then when they come home, they're applying this brain power of finding problems to their spouse,
To
to
life. Yeah.
themselves, to everything in their life. And um, that's just a mode that your brain can get into, but it's a mode that leads to hopelessness.
Yeah.
And so your brain is a tool. It is not actually supposed to be in charge. It is supposed to serve you as a being,
Yeah.
right? And so you give your brain, you are the one who employs your brain. You give your brain a job.
You got to point
And
that thing in the right direction.
you can say, okay, that's why we started with gratitude today. It's scientifically proven if you write down three things that you're grateful for that happened during the day, if you write that down at night, A, your whole brain and consciousness believes it happened again. B, over time, it's been shown to shift rates of depression for many people because all of a sudden your brain has this job of finding the good, finding the good in you, what you've done well, finding the good in the things around you. This is how you can be bulletproof
Hmm.
to whatever circumstances, are in your life. It's how you can be bulletproof to disappointment and bulletproof to um really disappointment in ourselves, which is one of the things entrepreneurs deal with the most.
So here's a great point. Nico commented on the Pono. I think everyone, including him, I don't know how to spell it right. I know that's not right. It's like Ho'oponopono prayer. So if you don't know the story, um, this doctor in Hawaii, Dr. Mess it up, Hugh Lin, I forget his name. Anyways, he was a doctor at an institute for the criminally insane, right? So this is a dark place. You have people who are insane and criminals, and it was there was the patients were always injuring the staff. It was the kind of place they said this, the paint doesn't stick to the walls. There's so much, does that make sense? It's just a bad place. And the staff, they're like, who is this new guy? Well, he doesn't really do anything. He would just want all of the different patients' files. And they're like, but what is he doing? But long story short, all the patients, almost all of them, a few got transferred, but almost all of them got better and they closed the place. Well, what did he do? And it's this prayer. And the prayer is this, and this is just a short version of it. It's just this. He would go over the files and just say, I love you and I forgive you. And I'm sorry if there was ever anything in me that ever caused you any pain. Right. So what's the power of doing that instead of you did this and they did this and customer service and the marketing and they should have done that and man, I can't believe I'm not getting my act together. It's like there's a huge difference, isn't it? Right. Massive difference. And this is why if you know anything about frequency and energy and consciousness, the people who operate at a higher level of consciousness, they don't just shift the energy in their family, they shift it in their whole town, their whole country, right? And that's why this is so important. So overcoming disappointment, number one, kill the why. Kill this. Why did this happen? Especially, here's the problem, especially the smarter you are and the more disappointed you are, right? The bigger the problem is. Because a lot of you have, my wife always gives me a hard time for saying this. A lot of you have friends who aren't really super smart, but they're happy. Are happy, and you look at their life, you're like, can you be happy? I see like 50 things wrong with your life. Oh, that's helpful, isn't it? It's like, and that's why you'll see people with really smart, very analytical, they'll deal with depression and anxiety more than the average person because they've allowed their brain to point itself in the wrong direction and get obsessed with the problem. What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? And literally, you will change your whole brain to depression and anxiety. I'll give you a great example. Um, one of the ministers in our church, he's very well known. He's has a good life. He's written many books, but he's also had a tendency to deal with anxiety and panic,
Nervous breakdown.
nervous breakdown. He like spent 6 months on his couch once, and during COVID, it he felt it coming back. Right, he would drive to work and he would sit in his car for an hour and a half, hardly unable to get out of his car and go into work. He said, and God told me this. God told me, get up earlier in the morning and write out 3 things you're grateful for. And tomorrow, review those first 3 things and write out 3 more. And the next day, review those 6 things, pen and paper. Why? This is how your brain integrates, and write out 3 more. Right.
And don't feel bad if it's hard the first couple times.
Oh, he goes, it took me forever to write down one thing the first time. Why was it difficult for him? Because his brain had been trained to look for the problem.
You just
And
lost
it
sight.
had a and it had a hard time looking for what was good. He goes, about day 9, he goes, when I got up and did it on day 9, everyone see the movie Rocky? Who's seen the movie Rocky? Dun, 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 dun. He goes, I wrote out those 9 things, and I think I heard the music to Rocky start playing. Dun, 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 because I'm right. Because it had changed his focus back to what he needed to focus on, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Let me just say this.
yeah,
When you did that motion with your hand, it reminded me of race car drivers. If you've ever seen where they race cars, the huge thing they talk about, if you look at the wall, you're gonna crash. So there have been people who get to have the opportunity to drive a race car and they have a coach in the car with them. And if they start looking at the wall and feeling like they're gonna get out of control, the coach grabs their helmet and points them, forces them back. So that's why we're talking so much about this. This is not oh, you could try this. Life is fluffy and just remember the good things. This is an active, aggressive choice
yeah,
to choose hope. And not everybody's willing to do it. That's why you're an entrepreneur, because you are, because you can, because you continue to do it. And even if you missed a few days, don't forget that you did it again. Even if you got off track, remember that you came back. And that is what you need to recall and understand. I am an entrepreneur. I always come back to hope. I always return my gaze to where it's supposed to be and accept that as an identity and a truth about you. And you'll find that you'll get back faster and faster and sooner.
yeah. What's going to happen? A lot of you will take what we're saying and we'll go, oh, that's a good idea. I probably should be more positive. Like, that's not going to cut it. Well, it's not going to cut it if you want to build something extraordinary in life. If you want to have an average life, be average in your mindset. I tell this funny story on extreme action. Years ago we had a little bit of land and our children were small, and we had on our little bit of land we had 17 chickens, 2 cats, 2 dogs, a bunny rabbit, and a miniature Jersey dairy cow, and a lot of chaos. Right. And I was in my office one day talking to a client, and I hear my oldest daughter yelling from the living room. Um, Catania brought a rat into the house. Catania, this is the cat's name. Catania brought a rat into the house. There was some chaos going in. I'm like, oh, I had to tell my client, I'm gonna have to call you back. Click. And as I'm walking out the door to my office, there was an aluminum baseball bat leaning against the wall. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna take this with me. So I walk into my living room carrying a baseball bat, right? And sure enough, there was a decent sized rat running around the house.
Do you guys know what he's saying?
The
Everyone
rat.
understands a huge rat.
My wife is sitting on the couch with her feet up and are covering her eyes as if this is not happening. Fortunately, I have two 90-pound, 45-kilogram pit bull dogs in my living room sitting there. I'm like, perfect. I look at my dogs, I'm like, get it. And both those dogs stared at me like I was trying to trick them into committing an unpardonable sin of going after the new family pet. They're like, what? Get it? Well, they're useless, right? So I have options. What do? Oh, I hope the rat doesn't bite any of my small children. This is really not ideal. Oh, I should probably have more positive attitude. Maybe I should focus someday my mindset. Like, no. I ran around the house with a baseball bat for about 5 minutes, chasing this thing till I bashed its head in, like brains and blood on the floor. You're like, well, Steve, that's extreme. Yes, and appropriate, right? Like we've given you some good tips. Write out what's good in your life. Write out pen and paper what you're willing to do, what you're doing well, right? And it's interesting if we came back, if I interviewed everyone a week from today, what would the result be? Oh yeah, I heard that. Okay, cool. Show me your journal. Oh, I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm like, okay. Like,
We're saying you have permission to aggressively face down every hopeless and negative thought or belief that is trying to attach itself to you in your life.
yeah.
Eliminate it
It's like, what are you prepared to do?
and replace it.
Yeah. And because there's huge amount of science in this to write out, write it down. It integrates with your brain. When you write it down pen to paper, your brain thinks you did it again. So you get twice the credit. This is how you rewire your brain for positivity, rewire your brain to see opportunity, right? And a lot of you see this because you could meet someone who you know for sure has an issue that the drops could help. Like, oh yeah, that we got really good results with that. And you offer it to them and they don't even see it. Why? Because my doctor told me this isn't fixable, right? There's opportunity everywhere. But unless your brain is looking for it, it won't see it, or it will see it but not grab a hold of it because it doesn't work. Those things don't work for me. See?
And it's not really so much a problem that you got fired from a job. It's the belief you take away from it, right? And if you take away from it the belief of, I'm a loser, I knew that job was too good for me. If you take away from it, I can't keep a job. If you took away from it, um, God doesn't want me to have good things, or something like that, that belief is what we're talking about attacking.
Yeah.
Okay. And aggressively replacing with a good belief. So you could say something like, oh, I had a temporary experience of being fired, but I'm not unemployed as an identity, right? Or I had an experience of losing that job, but I am an asset to any company I work for, and I know something better is coming along, right?
Yeah. Here's a big problem, and the missing thing a lot of you will do. Maybe you'll take a journal and gratitude journal. You write out all these things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for carpet and air conditioning. I'm grateful I have a car. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. But do you know what the number one driver of your performance is? Number one, hands down. The number one driver of your performance is to operate exactly in alignment with your identity and how you see yourself.
Say it again.
The number one driver in human performance is to operate exactly in alignment with your identity and how you see yourself. So if I look at your gratitude journal, oh, you're grateful for your cat and your dog and sunshine and everything, but you never looked at you and looked for things that you're doing well and celebrated that. See? And that's the missing piece. So part of what you want to write down is, okay, great. What did you do well today? See? What are you good at? You have to put points on the board.
Why don't everybody take this opportunity to type in the chat something you're good at and you're grateful that you're good at it. And don't be modest.
Yeah.
It's an invitation. No one's forced, but I would love to see what you put. You say one.
Um, I'm good at refocusing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really good at seeing people and what they bring to the world, situation, the job, whatever.
Yeah.
Do another one. You say something regularly that I want to hear. I want them to hear you say. You say, I'm world class at.
Um, one thing years ago, I realized I needed some additional asp I needed some additional skill sets. And so for years, I would say, because I saw what I needed to improve on. And so I would speak what I needed in my life. And it was, I'm meticulous in organization, boundless in energy, and bold in all situations. I started saying that in college. That makes sense. Why? Because I saw that I needed to be better organized, that I need to be more aggressive, that I need to have more energy. See?
And that's why you went for me.
Yeah.
No,
There you
hey,
go.
Betty lets people know I'm world class at helping people overcome disappointment.
Yeah.
He says that. He actually says that to other people sometimes if it's appropriate. He's like, maybe you're meeting me because I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
Have you ever said that to someone about yourself? You know, that's the high level of belief that we want you to have
Yeah.
in
So
yourself,
here's an interesting thing. Sometimes in a religious environment, you're taught that pride is such a bad thing.
just culturally too.
Culturally, yeah. So what if, and that humility is great. Here's what I propose, a different definition. I propose that humility is agreeing with what God says about you. And God, in my opinion, has an extraordinarily high opinion of you.
He does, because you can see when he defines love.
Mhm. Patient and kind. God, who is the embodiment of perfect love, is patient and kind, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, keeps no, by the way, anyone no would we be zero? God keeps no record of wrong and is always ready to believe the very best of every person.
Always believes the best about you.
Yeah.
And his faith is perfect. So he always has faith that you are going to be everything he's called you to be and that you can do everything
Yeah.
that's in your heart to do.
So part of that is when you have identity, it's like many things try and tell you what you're worth, right? But if I believe that God has never actually been disappointed in me and loves me unconditionally, I can I can take that valuation, or I can say, well, or I can argue with it. Does that make sense? Yeah, but I haven't done this and I should have done that. And when I refuse to agree with what God says about me, with what perfect love says about me, I disconnect myself from flow and from God's kingdom and from abundance.
Mhm.
Right. And
And
what,
that's probably more prideful.
yeah, or in real pride is saying that my ability to screw up my life is stronger than God's ability to fix it. See the problem?
And it's
Yeah.
so easy to realign, but it's a matter of taking your eyes away from the wall that you see coming and looking back at that track. If we go back to the race car analogy, it it's simple, but it's not easy, but it's a choice. And if you make that choice, right, then you're back on track.
Yeah. So it's like have the right mindset to see myself as successful, to not allow things that try and tell me what you're worth. I don't give them that opportunity, right? And we move forward. Right.
And your life is full of potential. No matter what anyone has told you or what you believe, your life is full of potential. And that's what inspires us to grow because we haven't reached it all yet,
Yeah.
right? And so that's when we connect that truth with action steps. Okay, I'm going to reach out to whatever. Is it okay if I go into this? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to two people this week. Why two people? Because last week I reached out to zero, and I don't want to set a goal so high that I'm not going to necessarily reach it. So I'm going to set my goal for two, right? And I'm connecting it to that. Why? Because there's so much potential for me in this business. There's so much potential in my life. But I'm going to set this, I'm going to reach for what's possible. And I'm going to reach out to them in faith,
Yeah.
in confidence, right? In confidence that they will benefit from this product, that they will benefit from this company if it's the right time for them.
Yeah. Because you have to have the experience to be able to say, I did what I said I was going to do. And sometimes to be able to do that, you have to set very low goals. Just so simply you can say, oh, I did what I said I was going to do.
Mhm.
Right.
It's like we're actually putting in place systems. I think even systems are even better than goals. I'm starting to change my vocabulary. And it's like, oh, a system. Okay, what's my system? All right, I'm going to reach out to this person. I'm going to make sure I have some product on hand for when I do come across somebody who's interested. I can go ahead and let them try it, right?
Hmm.
Systems, having systems in place that set you up for success, that keep you on that track to move forward.
Yeah, exactly. So this is why, I'll give you a very practical example. Here in America, they had this TV show called ABC's Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. So they would work with people who are like, like we have a lot of people who need to lose a lot of weight in our country. And so maybe these coaches, they're working with Bob, and Bob has 200 pounds to lose, 100 kilograms to lose. So at the beginning of the program, Bob's like, okay, what's the plan? You know what the coaches told them? They would go, okay, Bob, here's what we're doing this week. This week, we want you to drink 1 liter of water more per day than you normally do. And Bob's like, that's it? Yep, that's it. Bob's like, but that's not going to make me lose 200 pounds. They're like, uh, don't worry about that. You need to set the goal and hit it, right? And because Bob didn't get to be 200 pounds because he was good at keeping commitments to himself. Okay. Right. So they're like, look, there you go. Here's the deal. At the end of this process, and Bob's lost 200 pounds. If you interviewed Bob and you said, tell us about your experience, Bob is not going to say, oh, I lost 200 pounds. What is Bob going to say? Bob's going to say, I learned how to keep commitments to myself. Right. So a lot of you are like, oh, I need to do this. It's like, okay, nice, cool. Set that aside. Set a goal that's so low that you might laugh at it, but you need the experience of hitting it and celebrating it. Like, oh, look, I did what I said I was going to do. Cool. Maybe I actually follow through. Maybe I'm actually have integrity. Okay, maybe we'll do a little bit more this week. Okay, well, actually, I did that too. Look, I'm consistent and I follow through and I'm disciplined, right? And you need to do a little bit more of this, right? So here's a big picture way to think about it. When we're in business, we all have goals. Does that make sense? And we have goals, and you take some action towards the goal. Now, the second step is what differentiates everybody. Some people, you'll take action, and then you'll compare where you are then versus your ideal end result. And then it will look a long ways off. It'll produce negative self-talk, low self-esteem, and procrastination and depression. Or you set a goal, you take some action towards the goal. What do we measure? We measure where we've come from, what we have accomplished, and you celebrate it. Guess what that does? That produces positive self-talk, higher self-esteem,
Mhm.
and more action. See? So it's all in how you're looking in your environment, and measuring things is massively important.
Yeah, and by the way, I just want to congratulate all of you because what you're doing right now is a system.
Yeah.
A system is something you bump into in your life that keeps you on track. And attending a training like this, especially regularly, is a system that you put in place that's something that helps keep your belief up there so that when you open your mouth to talk about Beautify, you have a high level of belief coming out with it, right? And so then it's also reminding you, oh, I'm like these people. I'm like Ivan. I share what I believe in with people. I'm generous with it, right? You associate, right? You have this power of associating with people who are doing big things and believing big things about themselves and about their lives and about what's possible. So this is what I'm talking about as far as putting in systems in your place. You can call them goals if you want, but I think it's a system that you bump into to make sure you stay on the right track. And then I would say, and I really encourage you to get in the testimonials groups and read and listen to some testimonials before, like, as often as possible to keep that belief high, to remember that, wow, there's so many different things that this product works for. There's so many different people who've gotten results. This is a huge benefit to anybody who takes it, and it's at a great price point. Then you share with someone, you don't even have to say those words, but that belief is going to come out.
I think we're probably out of time.
I think we've gone way over.
I think we've got.
You guys are so easy to talk to.
Anyways, any questions on that? A couple recommendations. A book, The Happiness Advantage. The Happiness Advantage is by a Harvard professor. Goes through all the hardcore science on how to make your brain happy. And a happy brain outperforms a depressed brain 30%, 20, 30%. Yeah.
What do you want them to walk away with? What kind of action?
Well, here's what I really want you to understand. People, psychologists, people who really understand people and human performance, they will tell you this. All of them, without a doubt, they'll go, every single person, because of their unique combination of different personality traits and life experience, they say every single person has the ability to be world class at something. Every person, right? The title of the book is The Happiness Advantage. The Happiness
And I just want to sum up.
Advantage.
Everyone experiences disappointment. Here's a couple of tricks to help you overcome disappointment. Write things down that you've done well, specifically at night, especially if you're feeling like you're having a little bit of, you want to grow in this area. And then create systems that set you up for success.
And you have to write out what's the hidden gift and what happened.
We covered that, but that's really the key. If you have one certain situation that keeps coming up in your heart, you can't get over, or if you want to get over something that happened recently, quickly write down this question, what's the hidden gift, and wait until you have a good answer for that.
Yeah, well, here's an extreme example. This young woman was quite depressed, and she goes, everyone relies on me, but I'm a broken person. She goes, you see, I grew up in a church, or using the term loosely, church, that practiced ritualistic sexual abuse from a very young age. And it really damaged me. And the person talking with her goes, oh, so what's the hidden gift in what you went through? Then the next day you see her, she looks different. And she goes, I asked myself and I found out the answer. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to overcome what I went through. And I'm going to take what I learned in overcoming it. And I'm going to help thousands of women change their lives. I'm like, oh, there you go. Good job. So, anyways, any questions for us?
Pat yourselves on the back for being here. I want to see you do it.
Good job. A trick, go to your mirror in the morning and give yourself a high five. It automatically changes your mindset.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephen and Samara. Always, saying the right things, and I know you guys had to overcome a lot of disappointments also, but look where you are now. By the way, Samara is a licensed life coach, coaching Stephen all this time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's hard to hear, but it is. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Look at him. Thank you very much for helping us out here. We have also someone from Iceland that has been playing small and is now coming out. Nah. She's going to share with us what her story is and why she thinks we should use our golden drops, but at least live a healthy lifestyle. Vilborg, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Ivan. Yeah. I was one of 7,000 people who raised their hand when Anthony Robbins asked if anyone had painkillers on them, just in case. Tony's reply was, for your information, pain is not a sign that your body needs acetylsalicylic acid. It needs water or maybe some nutrition. Back then I thought, oops, I had normalized pain and, well, decided to do something about it. But like Ivan said, my name is Vilborg Hjaltested. I'm a medical scientist who likes to know everything about nutrition. What got me interested was that I had been limping for 5 years and they couldn't figure out that the meniscus in my right knee was torn. The people in the white coats told me I should stop imagining things, stop whining, and keep training. Yep, no, seriously. So they got it into my mind that it was in between my ears. So with a torn meniscus, it was pretty painful. So I started to search for solutions. This was 20 years ago, and limping for 20 years has caused me a lot of complications in my skeletal system. When I finally got to do an MRI, the news were not good. It's pretty sad, actually. My torn meniscus has turned into a major wear and tear in my right knee, as well of fluid retention. So my knee is very thick and it does not have full mobility. With a weakened right knee, the left side had to take over. And in my left hip, the tendons and gluteus medius are torn from the trochanter major. It's in simple words, there is extensive injury in my hip that the ligaments, the tendons and muscles are torn away from the bone, so that the muscles are torn that keep my leg in my hip. So yeah, I also have troubles with my thighs. The whole skeletal system has been paying a lot. I also have damaged vertebrae in my neck after a car accident, and it was starting to cause severe headaches. But with all this said, can you believe that such a simple thing as curcumin has kept me pain-free the last 3 years? Maybe not fair to call it simple, but I had been taking curcumin with black pepper for some time. I did it as a prevention. I never thought it would affect anything. Well, nothing. There was nothing wrong with me, but I knew it would activate the NRF2 pathway, a cellular defense system that protects against oxidative stress. So it was anti-aging. But little did I know that I was not only absorbing 15% of my intake. So maybe that's why it never did anything against my pain. In my eyes, almost everybody knows about turmeric. Less of us know that curcumin is the active ingredient. A lot of us who have been using it knew that it didn't absorb very well. But we also thought that black pepper was the solution. I didn't have a clue that it had to do with the liver doing its job. The black pepper only hinders the liver's detoxification for a short while, and then the liver kicks in again and there is no curcumin in the blood anymore. So when I heard about the BioMS curcumin drops, I didn't hesitate. In my eyes, I didn't need it, but I was going to use it as a prevention. It never entered my mind that it would affect my pain levels. I dove in right away, taking 10 drops twice a day, upped it to 20 in the morning and 10 in the evening. And then I did 30 in the morning and nothing in the evening. At that point, then I realized how much the drops were doing for my sleep. That was kind of the only thing that I really lived. I didn't have any issues with sleep, but I never had slept so deep. I didn't realize one could sleep so good. And I was not even realize the pain level. And when I had been using the drops for 6 months, I decided to take a break. It was January, and I decided to start the year with a detox and stop the drops as well. After 4 to 5 days, I started remembering old patterns. Oh, my swollen shin, the membrane on my shin, ow, my muscles in my thighs, my hip, my headache. I'm not sure if I will ever take a break again, because damaged ligaments and muscles will forever be my weak point. And I'll better take care of helping my body to stay as little inflamed as possible. And I actually through this time that I've been taking it for those 3 years, I seriously did not realize in how much pain I could have been, because I didn't know what was wrong with my hip. Like, my body was just fighting to keep my leg on, kind of. And I listened to Dr. Cesar Fernandez. He did a lecture for us on pain, and he pointed out that we should never normalize pain. Pain is never okay. We have to figure out where it comes from and find out the cause. Never let anyone tell you that pain comes with age. Pain comes with imbalance, so don't let it limit you, he said. I've also thought of maybe I should, get a new knee, have a new joint. But I believe, or what scares me is that, think of it, if the science will bring us way further, and my knee can be cured. If I have a metal knee, then I can't do anything. But knowing what the bio-MS Kurman can do for us, I almost see it as an obligation to tell it to others. I like education as a medical scientist. I only worked for a short while in a laboratorium, or until the kids started to pile up. I have 4 of them. I saw it as a privilege to stay home, but I also like to have company with grown-ups. I've always been very service and solution-minded, so this brought me to direct marketing. Back then, we didn't have internet. We did demonstrations at homes, and I loved it. I could take care of my kids, control my own time, and earn some money along with it. Nowadays, we don't even have to go out of our homes. We can sit here like we do now in front of the screen, learn, and deliver messages to others. And doing this as a job, now it's benefiting me as a grandmother. I can control my time and pitch in when they need me. And recently, I saw a reel on Facebook where a husband was kind of making fun of his wife's toxic wishes. They had kids. She wanted to take care of them. She didn't trust others to do it, but she also wanted to get out of the house and have extra money. So staying at home mom, working as a little or as much as suited her own plans. There was a lot of jokes and mocking around it in the comments, but I couldn't resist myself. I pointed it out. It's all possible. So I did it back then. I'm still doing it. and I will keep on doing it. It's like working with Vidify is simple. 10 drops a day as a prevention, and 30 drops a day for 3 months if you have an issue, or whenever you feel like making a change. Oh, stop with the finger, Stephen. But I do that too. I also pick up my finger when I'm frustrated. Then I use my finger to excuse myself out of it.
Cool.
And that's my story. Thank you.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing this. You know, we keep saying that power woman, but I believe you can inspire so many people that think, and that's why I like that you are sharing your story after what Stephen and Samara shared with us. We have so much power. We just have to find that power, and we know that's within us. We know that. So thank you for sharing this. And I know we have another power lady in the house, and that's no one else as Hilly Lefeber. Hilly, can you share your, not your screen, but at least show yourself? Let me see where you are.
I'm here.
Here she
and
is.
I'm super nervous.
Nah.
And you know why. And I think a lot of people know why. I never want to speak on stage or at presentations or anything. I've been like this from I was like this at school. If I had to come in front of the class, I froze, and I could even start to cry. I feel now I have to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. But yeah, you asked me to share my story. You didn't tell me I had to do it in English, so that was not funny, because it is already difficult for me to talk in front of people, and then I have to do it in English. So I have a lot of papers here. Sometimes I have to look and find the right words. So let me start by my name. My name is Hilly. I'm 67, and in the Netherlands, I'm not sure if it's the same in the US or other countries. Normally at 67, you retire from your work. You get your pension and a small amount from the state. But I was lucky that in 13 years ago, in 2012, my battery, it's low battery.
Keep talking.
See, I have to put on my, sorry.
At least you stepped up. So if we...
Yeah, so now I'm gone, almost, no.
If we ask the question, what are you grateful for?
One more time.
What are you grateful for?
Oh, for so many things.
For stepping up and do what you are so afraid to do.
Proud of myself, and we will see if how long I can I will be here. But yeah, why I'm here? How did I come here? 13 years ago, in 2012, I had a bridal shop. Very happy with my shop. I was in the bridal business 35 years. And I found a very nice, very excited product online. And through a bridal fair, I came to a Canadian lady that had a very excited product. And I was thinking, okay, what's this product? I asked her, what's this product? She told me, she explained me what it was. And I said, I want to have it. Where can I buy it? And then she told me I could buy it from her. I said, it's a little bit complicated. I'm in Europe, you're in Canada. I want to buy it in the Netherlands. She said, no problem. You can buy it with your credit card. I said, okay, let's do it. Tell me how to do it. And then she helped me. And then she said, but there's something else. You can also buy a starter kit. And I asked her, what's a starter kit? And she told me, yeah, you can become a member. And as a member, you get products for wholesale prices. And not only that you buy wholesale prices, but you can also start selling it and making money of it. And then I was thinking, isn't this a pyramid or something? MLM? I told her, is this MLM? And she said, yes. I said, I don't want this. I do not want to sell the product. I do not want to spam my friends, family. You're sending me products every month, because I had this here, that MLM, multi-level marketing, network marketing, it's about spamming people, selling products, trying to get rid of your products. I said, no, I don't want this. And then she said, no, you don't need this. I said, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You're not going to send me products every month? No. I said, let me think a little bit, because this was the first time I met her, and I was thinking, if I give her my credit card, maybe they're going to send me products every month. But then I thought, okay, it's a credit card. A good thing with a credit card is if you do not agree with the transaction, you can cancel it. So I like credit cards. So I said, okay, let's do it. And she sent me the product. I didn't tell nobody about it. I used it for 2 weeks. And then I felt an amazing result. And what happened then? I started to share it to people. Nobody knew what the product was, because I was one of the first ones in Europe. I didn't have nobody. I just shared my personal result. And this was in September 2012. And in April 2013, I made more money than I could make with my shop. I had a very nice shop in a very good area in Amsterdam. You know, in Amsterdam, one of the best areas in Amsterdam, 4 people working for me. And I was making more than I could make in the shop. And I was thinking, wow, this is a very good business. So I went all in after 6 months. And had a very, it was very good times. I had freedom, everything. And in 2000, was it 2018 or 2019? I don't remember. I got to meet, connected with Steven Keller. And I followed him, we connected. And in 2021, I saw he shared something about Vidafy. And he was so excited about it, but it wasn't for me, because I'm not so into the potions, lotions, medications, nothing. So supplements, and he was so excited, and I was thinking, But I was following him, and always looking at him, and I advise everybody to connect with him on Facebook. And I was working together with a Norwegian therapist. And in February 2022, we decided to join Steven. I was still active with another company, so I didn't do nothing with the product. I didn't even try it, but we had an account. And my partner, the therapist, he was working a bit with it. And then Steven came to visit, came to the Netherlands, and I wanted to meet him, of course. And the only way to be able to meet him in September 2023 was to go to Amsterdam to an event. So I went to the event, and I was thinking, can I go there? I bought a ticket, I went there, and I don't think I talked much with Steven, but I was there 2 days, and I was very impressed about the product, everything. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I should try it, because I saw a lot of testimonials, and I was thinking, maybe I should try it myself. And I was thinking, why should I try it? I do not have no problems, no inflammation, nothing. But I was thinking, okay, let's try it. It was so easy, because I do not like, again, no potions, lotions, with respect for all the other companies, I do not like milkshakes and everything. I want to eat and drink whatever I want. And I was thinking, this is so easy, just 10 drops, put it in my mouth, swallow it, and it's disappeared. And I was thinking, okay, this is very interesting. What can it do for me? And I think it can. I don't think it can do something for me. I tried it, and then something happened to me. Something. It was, yeah. I never thought it was a problem for me, but I've been like this my whole life, and I could go to the toilet maybe once a week. And it's not funny. It was not, if I was lucky, I could go to the toilet. It would take me 15 minutes, and it was painful. And after I started to take the drops, I can go every day. So it's when you think you do not have a problem because you're born like this. And then suddenly I was thinking, wow, this is an amazing product. And I said, okay, let's buy some products. And I started to share it. And I have a very good friend that started to take the drops. She did a testimony. She couldn't be here today. She's 68, but she's a model mannequin. And I'm very happy that she can go. She is doing a show today again. She couldn't have done the shows for many years because she has severe arthritis. She needs special gloves. And after trying the product, not immediately, but it helped her so much. It helped her from what are, all these medications. I'm not into the medications, but she used what it was, morphine, fentanyl. I don't know what it is. So what happened was that I had to share it. And if you have a good product, you need to share it. Like Iwan showed the picture of the boy with acne. He's the grandson of my daughter. And I shared it also with him. Usually, I've never shared a product with him. I never share products with my family, but with the drops, I feel I need to share it. So for me, the products help me with my health, but also with my freedom. Not only financial freedom, but time freedom, everything. So I'm very happy. Oh, I'm good talking so much.
You did it. So what do you?
I forgot that you were here. I was only looking at Iwan and Samara. But was there more? No, what do we need to say more? Suddenly I forgot it.
So what we keep saying here, look at her.
Nervous, wine.
Accomplish something. Come on. You see?
Yeah.
What we keep saying, it's not only the product, so health-wise.
Yeah.
It's business also, financially. You help people. Time freedom. You just take care of, and recognition. You just said it. You never shared products with your family, but look what you did now.
Yeah, that's what I feel about this. This is the first product, and Samara asked how many companies have been before, 5, 6, 60? No. But I never shared it, but this product I shared. I have 7 brothers, 4 sisters, and I'm a little bit different than the rest. And this is the first time that I shared in the group, I have something for you. You don't need it, but I suggest you take it. And this is the first time in 13 years that I shared a network marketing product because I feel they should take it. And my family is like that. They didn't write in the group, yes, I wanted it. They did private. Oh, Hilly, tell me about it. That's a little bit about my family. But I feel that we need to share it. And what I like about the products, it's not too complicated. I do not like, again, no potions, lotions, nothing. You just put it easy. do not need to change my eating habits or sleeping habits, or I don't know what. I do not need to mix something, put it in my mouth, and it's okay. So
I met your family, so I know they really, really love that you shared it with them. Especially, yeah, I know that because I've seen them on our in our events. So, especially Dinant, your grandson of your sister.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
So, you did a great job. That's basically, I hope you're proud of yourself that you helped them, you know, share the products with them and the business. You give
yes,
them something. And what they do with it, that's up to them, you know? That's what I
yeah,
think that
exactly. And it taught me not to be afraid, to be, as you said, to be proud of the products I'm working with, and I think also for the people maybe now watching, most of them know I'm a diamond, and often they think, okay, if you're a diamond or something, you have a big network or you a great speaker. I'm not. I'm very shy, and people that are shy don't say that I'm shy, but I am. I like to talk, but I'm not. You do not need to have great skills. You just have to share your story, believe in the product, and I think then you can do it. And I think it's a great business.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for stepping up and sharing.
So wine.
Now wine.
Goed gedaan, Hilly!
Oh, dankjewel, Nelleke. Nou, jij weet het wel hoe verlegen ik ben.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Let's see. We do have someone all the way from the US of A. Let me see. Yeah, and that's Ryan Stokes. I mean, this is the pioneer. He basically started with, he speaks English, but he basically started with Spanish products. So he's like, I don't even know what they're saying here. What is it saying? He keeps translating it for people. But anyway, build a big business, helped a lot of people get in touch with these golden drops, not just the drops, but also blessed a lot of people that didn't believe in themselves, stepping up, and look where they are now. So, Ryan, I hope you can share a little bit of your story with us and bring us home, man. Bring us home.
Hey, Iwan, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll share a little of my story and then we'll talk a little bit of how we built what we built. And I don't know how much of it is what I did. It's you guys. All of you that have come in and locked arms have done some amazing things. So yeah, I'm not taking the credit here. So yeah, so Kylie and I got started, man, 4.5 years ago, maybe yeah, 4.5. Really didn't know what we had. I guess you could even say it was 5 years ago we got the product. We sat on the product for a while. Not quite sure what it was. It was a little messy, and since I couldn't read it, because Iwan was right, it was all in Spanish. I mean, I could read Nanify. We didn't even have Curcumin Plus at the time. And we didn't even have Symbiofy. Like it was just one product. Really, since I didn't know what it was, I couldn't read it. We just really didn't care. We tried it and we just moved on. And then persistency from the guy who sent it to us. Him just constantly reaching out and checking on us and building a relationship. Eventually, he's like, "Listen, I know you're not using the product." And I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "It would change your life if you would try it." And kind of out of spite, Kylie was like, "Well, I'll give it a try. It ain't gonna change my life. I'm a hot mess anyway, so it's gonna take a lot more than some little product." And everything changed really, really fast for Kylie. And it went from her not believing in it, me not believing it, me trying to tell her it was placebo. Your mind is powerful. Stephen talked about just what what you believe matters, and what you speak over yourself really matters. Well, I just kept telling her, hey, this is placebo. You wanted it to work, so it's working. And that wasn't the case at all. We were getting inflammation out of her body. She was seeing massive change. I was jealous because I wasn't seeing change as fast as her. And we all burn different, right? I was a slow burn. She saw change quick. So for those of you that are watching this, for those of you that have people that are like, hey, I've been taking this for a few weeks, I haven't noticed anything, just keep taking it. It's about consistency and keeping it in your body, taking it consistently and keeping it in your body over time. And that's what our product does. It lasts. And so eventually I started to see change. And Kylie was already in. She had already bought in. She had side messaged the guy and said, hey, I don't know how to get started. There's got to be a business here, but we would like to be involved. And then he reaches out and he's like, so you want to do the business? I was like, I never said that. He's like, well, your wife does. I said, okay, so we want to do the business. And we hopped on. We got started, and we started building pretty fast, and we saw change really quick. In 3 days, we earned our first trip. There was only 3 days left in August, and there was no way. I was like, "There's no way we'll earn it." But in 3 days, we earned our first trip to Vegas, and within no time, not only were we diamond, but we were global founders, and things just changed. We saw different people come on. Some people are still here, some people are not. But those that love the product and those that enjoy helping people, and honestly, a comp plan that pays really, really well. I've been in many network marketing businesses, maybe fewer than others, but we've been in enough to know that you want to make money, right? And we were making money at a really good rate, and we were being rewarded for our efforts. And get a product that works, and you get rewarded for your efforts. That's all that matters, right? And so it's just been a fun journey. We've seen almost a million, well, almost a million in volume, and definitely over a million in sales go through our business in a month, monthly average. And we've seen people that come in. Probably the greatest part of this, I know we've talked about product, and I just talked a little bit about, being able to make money, but the greatest part of this is the community that's been drawn to this. There are some amazing people that are part of this company. I mean, high level recruiters, high level nutrition specialists, doctors. I mean, name it, we have it, that have been a part of this. And then just high level individuals that just love people. They're great at communicating. They're really good at bringing people together. They're great at creating content. They're great at putting stuff together, all that stuff. And this has just become a community that is super powerful. And I think that's, to be honest, if for those of you that have been here for a while, if you're listening, I think that's the thing that we lost a little bit. We're a pretty powerful community that have a lot of talents and skills, and we allowed things and our self-talk to kind of get in the way. There's some of you that are still crushing it right now, or maybe you didn't crush it for a while, but all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I think I want to share this, and that's what's crazy about this product and this company is you got a good product. All you got to do is share it. You don't have to even, I don't even care if you share it with your family. I mean, I would if you love them. You at least need to let them give it a try, but it's not about you making money. It's not about a pyramid or whatever people want to think. It's just about you finding something that you're passionate about and believing in yourself and then taking action. And that's kind of where I'm going to talk the rest of my time. Guys, if you want to build something and you really want to build something, get close to the fire, build your belief in this, and then take action. Do things that create income. So we call them income generating activities, IGAs, right? And we need to do things that build income for you. And that's what I want. I want to see people make money. I want to see people get healthy. And I want to see people enjoy being a part of Vitify. And if we can get you making money, I think you're just going to share it even more and more. And the way to make money, yes, we talk to our family. Yes, we talk to our close friends. Network marketing gets a bad rap because that's the people that they go after. I call it low-hanging fruit. It's just the easy ones, people you're comfortable with talking to. But we live in an era of social media, and we live in an era of constant chronic inflammation. And if you live in the United States, you just watched a massive bombshell dropped on an anti-inflammation drug that's causing a lot of problems on people. And it's one that they took every single day. And so we have a solution to a problem. So if we have a solution to a problem and we have a way to make pretty good money, you ought to be excited to share it. So let's get excited about it and get passionate and let's get out there and go. But you don't have to do it with just your family. So I'm going to take 5 more minutes, Iwan, and then I'm going to knock this out so we can get out of here. But you can create a following on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. There's so many platforms. True Social. There's so many platforms, and there are people all across the world that leverage those platforms. And when I say leverage, they create content that's valuable to somebody. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's valuable to somebody, and then they consistently put that content out. I know that when I do that, we're very successful. I also know when I don't do that, when I don't consistently show up for my business is not very successful. So if we can find consistency, so find that passion, your why, right? Have great self-talk, believe in yourself, believe in what we have, and then find a platform that you're comfortable with, and then let's share, right? And so how I would do it, I'm going to use Facebook because that's where we spend most of our time. One, I would make sure that my friends list is maxed out. If you don't have a maxed out friends list, you're not doing all you can. So each and every day, I'd be sending friend requests to people that need what you have. Yeah. Don't just cast this net out into some pond or some ocean and hope you're going to grab somebody. Go fishing with intention. Get a lure. You have the lure, you have that, but find a place that you can fish. So go after people that you want. So I'd be looking for stay-at-home moms. I'd be looking for people that complain about how they feel. I'd be looking for people that have influence with other people, right? And I'd be sending them friend requests, and then I would be interacting with those people on a daily basis, right? And then on the same time that I'm doing all that, I'd be creating a content that people want to consume, and I would be consistent in that content. I would not just push what I have. Vitify, right? My Nanify, I don't have any right here with me. I wouldn't just be pushing that. I'd be pushing out content that shows you're human, you're normal, you're like everyday people, right? You're not some I'm just here for the money or I'm just here for the product. I am showing you a little bit of my life and opening up a door that allows you to come in and connect with me, because connection is key, right? That is where it's at. So once I maxed out my friends list, while I'm doing that, I'd be creating that content. And then as we go, what I would be doing is I would constantly be putting people in categories. So if you've been here for a long time, you've got a fifth category, or actually you have a fourth category. I believe there's three, but you have a fourth. So if you've been here for a long time and you had a downline, or you currently have a downline, or you have people that you've shared your business with or your product with, those are the people I would start with. I'd be reaching out to them. I'd be getting on the phone. That's the way I did it at the very beginning. I sent voice messages like crazy on my phone, through Messenger, through text. And I just said, hey, Iwan, man, been a little while since we talked. I know we've done some things in the past where we have just flat crushed it. Or maybe you didn't do business together. Maybe just someone that was a friend. Hey, Iwan, I just wanted to check on you. I know we haven't talked in a month or two, but man, I ran across something that's got me pretty excited, and I would love to take 2 minutes to share it with you if you've got time. And listen, regardless if you listen to the rest of this information, the rest of this message, I don't care, but I'm passionate about it. We're still going to be friends, but hear me out. And I would just go into what we found, right? Kylie's life is being changed. We got our own story, right? Financially or physically, we have a story to share. I said, that I posted stuff about her not being able to smell, not being able to taste, or whatever the problem was, right? Dude, she's got her taste and smell back. She's sleeping now. Like, life is changing. I shared her story because I didn't have a story to start with, right? So I found a story that I loved and I shared it. And I just started reaching out. I got on Messenger. I just hit up some of my biggest network marketing friends that I knew at least trusted me, right? And I'd hit them up and I'd say, hey, Mike is here. All right. Mike joined us a long time ago. And because Mike joined, we've got Iwan and Steven and all those people, right? So I say, hey, Mike, listen, we've done a lot of things together. I've got something I know you need to at least take a look at. I don't care if you join or not, but I want you to at least take a look at it and give me that. Right. He said, Ryan, I'd love to look at it. Send me some bottles. Well, I didn't send them. I hopped in the car instantly and drove 3 hours to meet him. Right. I got there. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, you have to try this now. And so I just went up there. I was like, stick your tongue out. And I dropped a dropper on his tongue. And he was like, that don't taste the best. I was like, I promise you it's going to be worth it, right? And he caught my passion. He understood that I was like, hey, this is really, I'm buying in on this. And about 30 minutes later, Mike had a first dose experience that he was like, dude, I just have some clarity coming over me. It's like a euphoric experience. Like I don't have this brain fog that was just all over me. I'm kind of awake. I was like, isn't it crazy? He's like, dude, how much does this cost? He started asking questions, and I just started introducing him to different answers. And I didn't have all the answers. I had some PDFs that I had typed up into English because everything was in Spanish. But I let him try the product. I gave him what I had. And the next thing I know, before I got home, he's joined with the Kit 500. He's like, I'm ready to get started. Let's go. And I just found people to lock arms with, and we ran. Right. And so I would be doing that with social media. I would leverage it. I would create content. I would talk about Kylie. If you're in our World Changers group, she has a Facebook 5, or you're in our World Changers 247 YouTube page. She talks about her Facebook 5. If you don't know what you would talk about, go hit that video up. It's a great video. Just talk about what you would do daily, 5 days a week. We're talking about this stuff. 2 days a week, we're talking about business or the product. And you can create a platform that people will find interesting. They will have a connection with you because you're sharing more than just a product or a business. You're sharing your life. And then that connection will lead to different things, right? It might be a business opportunity. It might be a deep friendship. It might be a customer that just loves the product, but you are connecting with people at a level that you build trust, and then you get to change your life. And that's what we're doing, and then as we grow, you get to do things like this. That's a trip to Maui, very first network marketing company we ever joined. We eventually earned flights for me and Kylie, and a week-long trip to Maui. And that's kind of where I really bought into network marketing. I was like, dude, Kylie had never flown on a plane. She had never seen the ocean, none of that stuff. I was like, this industry gives you an opportunity to do some things that I wouldn't do as a teacher and coach. So I was a teacher. I was a coach. In the United States, those people don't make very much money. They always say, well, you do it because you love it. Well, I get tired of doing things that I love and not getting paid for it, right? And so I couldn't afford to take her to do those things. Well, this industry gave us that. And then this industry eventually started paying us at a point that was high enough that I didn't have to coach all those sports. I could just teach and coach one sport. And then it was, okay, well, I don't even know if I need to teach anymore. Maybe I'll just coach. And then I was like, I don't know if I need to do any of this. We're so busy with what we're doing and we're going all over the place. I'm just going to chase my kids around the country and watch them play softball and this and that. But this industry gives you opportunities. Well, Vitify gives you not only a great income, but we do a lot of travel. Iwan goes on, I think you go on almost all the trips, and he always asks if I'm going to be there. Well, right now I'm chasing a senior and a sophomore and an 11-year-old all across the country playing ball. So I don't get to make all those trips, but I will be at a couple here before long as graduation happens and new opportunities have opened up for us to travel when they're not playing. But you can earn some trips, you can earn some really good money. And we have all the tools for success, right? This is a duplicatable process. Find a product, get a story, or share someone else's story, and put the tools to work. Disruptive Wellness is a great tool. We have a lot of new tools coming. Talking with Tyler and Shane yesterday and in the past week. There's going to be a lot of little mini videos that we're going to pump out that you can share with people, talking about the business, talking about the product, talking about travel, talking about all those things. We're going to be pumping out some new tools and resources coming. The back office is getting right. If anyone else has been in network marketing as long as I know, the back office looks great some days, and other days you fight it and you want to choke whoever's building it, and you go back and forth. That's just the part of it. Websites go up and down. I believe we've got a good website, and we've worked out a lot of the kinks. Got a couple more kinks that we started work on yesterday, but those are about ready to go. So we have a great opportunity, and I believe that even though the company's coming up on 10 years, 4.5 years of it really being known across, about 3 years known across all markets. I still believe it's just a drop in the bucket of people who know about our product. And at any point in time, you can relaunch, right? I don't care where you're at. I disappeared for a year. I got sick. I got frustrated. Stephen and I had many conversations as we battled the different battles I was facing, and you can relaunch. Crap, I've relaunched my business I don't know how many times. And you go through your wave, and sometimes you're high and sometimes you're low, but you go through it. But like I think I relaunched a month ago, 14 days in a row. I had to get up and talk myself into doing it again, right? It's just like, oh my gosh. But then you get in the groove and you create a habit and you go. So we're going to do all we can to help you grow. I'm going to be around a lot more. If you want to do calls, you want to do Zooms, you want to do any of that stuff, I'm here. I know social media. My wife knows it a lot better than I do. She's always consistent. I lack the consistent. I just sometimes don't want to post. It's not that I don't know how or don't have something to say. I'm just like, I'm boycotting it every once in a while, but she's great at it. So we can teach you that stuff. I can teach you how to create a list and put people in those lists and how to move people from a cold market to a warm market. We have all that stuff. But I just want to see you be successful, right? And if you're a recruiter and you're like, I just want to recruit, but I can't, not leading people. That's just not what I do. Okay, recruit, and we'll get them tagged into people that can lead, right? And we'll get them going there. You're like, hey, I just don't know how to get started. Well, we have a getting started. Hey, it starts with get your story or find a story that you're passionate about and share it. All these things we can do. You just have to decide you want to do them. All these things are very successful. You just have to decide how consistent you want to be, right? And we know that if we can do that, get consistent, find a story, share it with some passion. And I suggest sharing a voice message over a text. People hear your passion. I know Mike. I see Mike. Mike cracks me up, but Mike bought my passion more than he bought the product, right? And I'm assuming a lot of people bought or tried it because of your passion or your story way before they did the science of the product. So share stories, those sell, not science. All right. I hope that works. We'll do this anytime you want, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. Thanks a lot. And to bring you guys together, Stephen and yourself, and Samara, Samara and Stephen talked about seasons going up and down, relaunching. I mean, that's basically life, the life cycle. So, and that's basically what you just said. I love the way you talked about the content, value to somebody. When you share something, and that's where we get disappointed. We share something, we don't see no comments, no likes, no nothing, and we get so disappointed. Share it over and over again. The same post that I shared last year, if I share it today, well, I've done it a few times, 3-4 times more likes, more comments, more conversations over and over again. So seasons, I love the seasons. There will always be a spring after the winter, and the other way around. But it is what it is. Well, thanks for sharing this. And I know if we ask you to, just support us, or just say something to a group of people, you're always there. And your wife is always there. If I ask her to be there, she's there. So thanks a lot for being there for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And now we also have corporate, because we want to know where we are, and where we're going. So if Tyler can show himself, well, he's already there, I think. If you can share a little bit, Tyler, where we are and where we're going, that would be great.
You bet. Yeah, no, I thank you, Iwan, for inviting me to be here. I appreciate it. Shane wanted to be here. He had some other things going on today. He asked me to be able to step in his place. And I just got to tell you that Shane and I, we talk about all of you every day. We meet, well, 5 days a week. And I just want you to know how much he cares about you guys, how much he's interested in what you're doing. If you're happy, if you're feeling like the product is working for you, what we can do to be able to help you to be successful. And I just want you to know that he cares so much. He and Laura are just individuals of integrity. And for those of you that have had a chance to meet with him and with Laura, then you definitely can attest to that they are people that truly care about you, the heart and soul of Vitify, and that stems from the top, and it certainly comes from Shane and from Laura as well. You know, it was so great to be able to hear from so many of you. I jumped in, maybe about an hour ago or so, and right in the middle of Stephen and Samara as they were talking, and got to hear from Vilborg and got to hear from Hilly and certainly with Ryan as well. And it was wonderful to hear from each one of you guys. And I know you guys and have been in meetings and done some things and been on some trips with some of you and just appreciate your leadership and what you're doing. And it's so fun to be able to watch the things going on. You talk about seasons, and as we're moving into the fall season, I think it's interesting because we've all gone through an awful lot about the last few months, and you know that we're not perfect. And even Ryan alluded to it a minute ago about how we've had some system changes and your business goes up and your business goes down, and we are doing our best to be able to make the processes, the tools, and the systems as I guess as easy to use as possible. And we appreciate so much your patience. You talk about seasons, and we go into this with knowing that we are rebuilding. All of us, we're rebuilding together, and it can be exciting, it can be fun, and it can be hard, but it can be rewarding, incredibly rewarding. But just know there's some elements of absolute consistency with Vitify, and that's Shane and Laura as sole owners of who we are, not going anywhere. Legacy company. We've been almost 9 years now. Next year will be 10 years, and we continue to grow. And the product that we have with Curcumin Plus and with Nanofy is just incredible. All of you are here because you have an incredible story and experience with the product. And Ryan talked a lot about that. And we are so grateful that you've had this. That is a hallmark of consistency with our incredible product with Nanofy and with Curcumin Plus as well. And I'll talk about consistency here in just a second, but I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to some people that are on here that have done some really fun, incredible things. Vilborg, the other day, you signed up 8 customers in one day. 8. Congratulations to you. That is so awesome. We had to highlight you on the VEC Facebook page because you signed up 8 customers in one day. Vivi, you've had some individuals on your team that have just started to explode and enrolling 4 and 5 people and just doing some really fun things. And Hildy, I don't know if I say your name right or not, but you were at the September 6th event and you were up in front and you were sharing your story and your experience and did a little bit of training. And you've seen a lot of really great things that have been going on within your business. Emilia, you have too, and it's been fun to watch, people within your organization that are growing and building, and they're doing that because of you and your example, as you're sharing. And Roy, just so many of you, we really appreciate all of the examples that you're setting, and you keep going and you keep trying and you keep sharing. And that's what it's all about, from what Ryan and some of the others were talking about. We have a life converted trip coming up that we've talked about a number of times. And it's going to be so fun to be able to see Hilly Lefeber there and Vilborg and Stephen and Samara and Iwan and Vivi and Roy. All of those individuals have qualified to be able to go to this life converted trip. And we can't wait to be able to spend 7 days locked in a ship together, sailing around the Caribbean and just having a wonderful time. And congratulations to each one of you for qualifying. Ryan, you've qualified for this LCT trip a number of times over and over again, year after year. We can't wait to see you in Cancun next year with you and Kylie. So we're excited. We're excited about that, and all of you as well. We appreciate what you're doing. Elfriede, I forgot to mention Elfriede. You've seen so many great things happening within your business too, and just want to congratulate you on that as well. There's a mentor that I've had in the past, and maybe some of you have heard this story before, but I'll finish up with this. Talking about consistency, being true to yourself and who you are, what your why is, and sharing everything there is to about Vitify with others. I call it, I guess, my paperclip story. There's a mentor that I had, and he owns some network marketing companies right now. But back when he was first building, he knows that he was starting out, and he was about 19 or 20 years old. And as he started out, he was thinking that he was going to be just awesome. He got involved with a soap company back in 1970. It's 1971. And he thought that he was just going to be the best soap person out there. And so he was selling and he was sharing, and his team, they had a system. And the system was step one, step two, step three. And so he thought that he would take it one step further because he thought he knew more. And so he came up with step one, step two, step three, step four. And so he thought for 9 months, he built with these four stages. Instead of what he was taught, three, he added a fourth. And so he built, and he thought that he was talking to as many people as he could, and he just wasn't seeing success. But he said after 9 months, he was the very best, worst distributor of this soap that company had ever seen. The very best, worst distributor. And so he thought, what am I doing wrong? He was talking to some people, some uplines, some other people that were sharing, talking about the soap as well. And they said, well, you've added, another step or two. You've done 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to do 1, 2, 3. And so he thought to himself, okay, well, I'm trying to do too much. Maybe I need to follow these steps of 1, 2, 3 and just get back to the basics and do the very simple steps. And that's what I have heard from Vilborg, from Ryan, from Stephen and Samara, and from Hilly, doing the simple steps of just sharing. So he said, okay, I need to just start to be simple. I need to start sharing. I'm just going to do step one, step two, step three, see what happens. So as he started, he was setting goals for himself. And what he wanted to do was to make sure that he was going to talk to 10 people every single day. Now, we know when you talk to 10 people, you might get one or two, if you're really good, 3 or 4 people that might say maybe or might say yes. But when you talk to 10 people, generally it's about 1, maybe 2 that will show some interest or might say yes. But he thought, I'm going to talk to 10 people every single day. And so he did. And the way that he would remind himself is he would take paper clips and he would put 10 paper clips in his right pocket. And so he had the 10 paper clips in his right pocket. And when he would talk to somebody, and it didn't matter if it was about the soap, if it was a business opportunity, if it was him sharing his story, he wanted to talk to 10 people every day about his experience, what he was doing, why he was excited. And even if it didn't go very well, he still talked to somebody. So every time he would talk to someone, he would transfer a paper clip from his right pocket to his left pocket. And at the end of the day, if he had 10 paper clips in his left pocket, then he talked to 10 people, he met his goal. And in your lifetime, when you have done things and you've really committed and you've been consistent, you have been successful. Every one of you, whether it's network marketing or your family or waking up and making your bed or going to work or being a better person at church, when you are consistent that you become good at it, whether it's being a better friend, a better parent. All of us have had success in one way or another when we have been consistent and good. And he thought the same thing with his soap selling business. I'm going to talk to 10 people from the right pocket, put the paper clips in the left pocket. After I'd done that one night, he had talked to 9 people. And he'd been so consistent day after day after day, week after week, month after month with talking with 10 people. He started to see some success. And so he knew that this consistency of the paper clips from right pocket to left pocket were the key to the success that he was experiencing. And so it was one night after a meeting, he reached into his right pocket. He had one paper clip left, and it was 11:30 at night. And he was done with the meeting. He was so tired. He was absolutely exhausted. And he just thought, oh, it would be so easy for me. It's 11:30 at night. I've had a busy day, a successful day. I just got done with a meeting with my soap business. It would be so easy for me just to not do this, just to be okay with the 9 paper clips in my left pocket and then start again tomorrow. And it'd be so simple to do that. But he thought to himself, he wanted to be true to himself, true to his why of why he's doing this. And he thought, I have to stop and try to talk to somebody. Doesn't matter how the conversation goes. I just need to hit that goal. And so on his way home, he lived in New Jersey and it was dark. It was in the middle of the woods, but he saw a bar and he stopped at this bar. And there wasn't any intention of doing a presentation with anybody. He just needed to reach his goal of talking to somebody about something with his business and then transferring that last paperclip from his right pocket to his left pocket. He went inside the bar. He got out of his car. He went inside the bar. The first person he saw sitting at the bar, they were having a drink, and he sat down with his next to this individual and he said, "Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Hey, I just want you to know." And he could tell this person was, they'd had a lot to drink. They were inebriated. They were a little bit wasted. But he didn't care because he wanted to make sure he hit his goal. And so he talked to this person. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, good. What's going on tonight? You having a good time here?" "Yeah, that's great. I got to tell you something. I am selling soap. I'm in the soap business and I love to travel. And it is so exciting. Would you like to learn about selling soap and then traveling with me?" And he goes, "What are you talking about? No, I don't care." And he kind of shoved him lightly, like, "Get out of my way. I'm going back to my drink." And he was like, "Well, that's okay," and left him his card. "If you ever change your mind, then here's my card. And then you can give me a call and we can do something later, and talk later." And he walked out that door and he talked to a drunk person. And that person said no, but he left him his card. But he still talked to him about his soap business and traveling. And he hit that. And when he walked out of there, he transferred that last paper clip from his right pocket and put it in his left pocket. And he hit 10. No success, didn't make a difference, never heard from the guy again. But the moral of that story is be consistent, be true to yourself. You set goals. We've heard lots of different things from everyone here about what they do each day in their consistency of their habits to be successful. And be successful, or be consistent, because as you are and as you do, and maybe you might not be successful today, and maybe tomorrow might not be a great day either, but Monday might be. And maybe next Friday will be the best day that you've had in your Vitify business because you have built those habits every day and you found those individuals that are interested. I love what Vilborg said a little bit ago. She said, "One of the things I feel obligated to share Vitify with people because it is so incredible." Ryan even said it. "Hey, boy, you can share it with your family if you want to, but if you love your family, you probably want to share it with them because this product is amazing." And so I love that those two, that they shared that they said that, because we do have a responsibility. So many people out there don't know what turmeric does, let alone how difficult turmeric is to get into our system and to be absorbed. But we have the solution for that. And then we know what turmeric does and how many body systems it helps and there's so many different conditions that it can help with, let alone, inflammation is the source of all of it. We know that. But at the same time, our product makes a difference and it changes lives. You're here because it's done something for you or somebody that you know, and it's changed lives. We're grateful for all of you guys. You guys are just wonderful. I have to tell you, Shane and I have talked a lot about Europe lately. And I know we've done a lot of things with the Netherlands. We've got Vivi, you'll be happy to know that we are really getting very, very close to the labels, the product being approved in Denmark and the labels being available, and then sending out product. With that will also come Sweden. Right behind that, we're really excited about doing the same thing for labels for German and for Norwegian. And we are going to be seeing some incredible things there here in the next few months with those 4 countries. We know that once we get the labels done and the product approved in Denmark, Denmark will just continue to take off. And we can't wait to see that. And we'll be exploring and exploding all over in Europe. And we feel like that Europe is absolutely a key to the great success of Vitify. And that's all of you. There's so much opportunity, so many people that have never heard about what we are about who we are, about what turmeric, curcumin, Nanofy, Curcumin Plus can do for individuals. And there's a great opportunity right now to be able to make that happen. So, Iwan, thank you. Appreciate the chance to be able to share a few things with you guys. And thanks to all of you for being here. It's wonderful to see you. And I just wanted to put a little shameful plug in, or shameless plug in. We've got an event, a virtual event that we'll be doing from a corporate standpoint on October 11th. and that will be 7 p.m. CET for each one of you. That'll be October 11th, and we'll have a chance to be able to hear a little bit more from Iwan and from Dr. Cesar Fernandez and from Becca White and certainly from Ryan Stokes as well, and from Shane and Laura. And we're excited about that. So October 11th, Q4 Growing with Vidify, and there's all the information for that. So I'm just going to stop talking right now. I could keep going, but Iwan, thank you so much for the chance to be able to share some things. Appreciate it.
Well, you're so welcome, and thank you for being there for us. And let's all be there on the 11th of October, but do not forget, we still have a few days in September. Why is it so worth mentioning? Well, we talked about our Kit 100 still. And as I mentioned, and I hope everyone understands, the Kit 100 will not will not be part of our startup kits anymore. So if you want it, take advantage of this Kit 100. We have just a few days in September, all over the world. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do, and I hope you liked it. It was a long sit, I know, sitting behind a screen, but I hope you could take something out of it and use it just those few days and on. Love the mindset training, love everything that Ryan said. And you can see how easygoing Ryan is. He's just laid back, but a hard worker, a hard worker. He likes to work. His wife also. It's the same with Stephen and Samara. We can learn a lot from that by, overthinking stuff. We do that most of the time a lot. So let's go back to basic. And that's basically what Tyler also said. Go back to basics, set your goals, or as Samara said, plug in a system so you can focus on that. And don't be too hard on yourself. I think that's a great one too. Do not be so hard on yourself. Okay? So thank you everyone for being here and participating. I hope to see you really soon, and at least the 11th of October. And for the guys who are going to the cruise, see you on the cruise. See you in Miami. We're going to Miami. And lots of luck. And by the way, look for support. Do not do this by yourself. We are a team. Call someone. Do not do this by yourself. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. And again, I hope to see you really soon. Have a great one. And again, thank you, everyone, for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.